Welcome to another video. Today we're going to be talking about 5 easy steps to get into pixel art. But before we start, let's go through a brief history of pixel art and why it's still relevant today. Pixel art is like a classic song, it just never gets old. Even in the age of ultra realistic graphics, pixel art is still going strong. It's very simple where every pixel counts. Literally, add an extra pixel and your character goes from minding its own business to a complete badass. Plus, it's super popular in video games, especially in small indie games. It's a big hit. It's also a lot cheaper and easier to make than those fancy 3D graphics. So realistically, pixel art isn't going anywhere. And this makes it perfect for artists like us to dive in and see what we can create. And I have switched from doing illustrations to a full-time pixel artist 3 years ago. And here are 5 steps that will help you with your journey. Step 1. Understanding resolution. The first thing you need to understand is the resolution and how you want your character to look like on the screen. And based on the era that you want to associate with, you can dial down your art to that look. For example, if you're doing something for the Nintendo, that's 8-bit. If you're doing something for the Super Nintendo, that's 16-bit. And now with modern technology, the sky is the limit. Since there is no restriction on the bit size, you can create anything you want. And you can create art that ranges from this look all the way to something that looks like this. And the big difference is it will just determine how much time and effort you want to put into your sprites, because all of that will translate into your animations. For instance, this sprite has 4 frames for walking, and to create it, it could take you between 15 to 30 minutes. However, the more detail you want to add, the more pixels you have to add to your sprite, and the more time consuming it will get. If you have this character and you want to give it a walking animation, you have to keep in mind all the dynamic range of the movement on this character, just to bring it back to life. And this will translate to your art and all the extra work that needs to be done for all the other animations. Just keep in mind that sometimes less is more. Step 2. Choose your tools. And this is an ancient debate really, so it doesn't matter if it was pixel art or even back in the Stone Age. If you're using a tool, people have to compare it. And people love to debate about which program is superior than the other. And here are 3 simple guidelines on how I go with it. I just look at affordability, how the UI looks, and if it aligns with my use cases. The best program is the one that you can use. But here is the good news. Almost every software out there can actually do pixel art. But here's the thing, some of the software is more expensive than the other. But let's compare quickly the top 3 in my opinion in this genre. Photoshop, Pixel, and Sprite. And if you have any other software, let me know in the comments below. So Pixel and Sprite are purely made for pixel art, which makes it perfect for anyone who's starting into the genre. But Photoshop on the other hand is a full creative suite, which you can use from pixel art all the way to making oil paintings. And it can pretty much do anything in 2D space. However, the price point for Photoshop could be a little bit more expensive. Actually, it's a lot more expensive than the other ones. Photoshop uses a subscription model, and Pixel and Sprite, they use a one-time fee. So it makes a lot more sense if you're starting to go into something that has a one-time fee and you don't have to shell out a subscription every month. I personally use Photoshop and Pixel because I use Photoshop for a lot of different things. So I highly recommend that you check them all out and you decide for yourself. And we can deep dive on the differences of each of the programs in another video. Step 3. Understanding the theory. So this one is a little bit on the nose because there's so much to unpack, from color theory, composition, line structure, etc. But here's a quick tip that can elevate your pixel art right away. When you're starting doing pixel art, start with doing silhouettes. Not only is it going to help you improve your form, but also it will help you with your speed. I find myself often getting carried away with picking colors and trying to look at different things and really go into the detail and just spending hours upon hours just working on a small crease into a fabric. But when you start with a silhouette, it will give you a clear direction of, is this character can I'd be identified in 3 seconds or less. And that's how you know that you have a very good form. And this technique will strip everything out of the equation and subconsciously help you to get down to the form and improve that really quickly. Step 4. Ask for feedback. Show your work. This is very crucial for anyone in the creative space. Sometimes we live in our own world and we think that we created the best creation out there, but just getting some outside feedback will really help, because ultimately art is subjective. And asking for criticism, especially if you're doing something for a professional setup, you want to appeal to a lot of different people. If you're doing something for a client, the client has to accept it. So you need to get a lot of feedback. And yes, some people can be harsh, and that's all right, but you cannot control all the responses you get your way. But what you can control though is finding like-minded people and the right community for you to foster and show your work. And to start, you can just join Live the Life Academy Discord. The link is in the description. So we just started this community and everybody is welcome. Step 5, experiment. Don't get stuck in one genre. Explore new styles, try different techniques. It will help you break out of your shell and maybe even get you some inspiration. Try fantasy, sci-fi, top-down, side-scrolling. Even try doing posters or portraits. Truly, the possibilities are limitless and will keep your juices flowing. Just remember, there are so many rules in everything, but sometimes rules were meant to be broken. Ultimately, just be you and enjoy the process. So that's a really quick 5-step guide to help you with your journey, and I hope you'll find it helpful. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. It will really help me with the algorithm and help the channel grow. And if you enjoyed this video, you can check this video over here. And just remember, take it one day at a time, and I'll see you in the next video.